Good morning. This book is called At the Seashore by David M. Schwartz, photographs by Dwight Kuhn. These are real photographs of real sea creatures, not drawings. They're actual photographs. This is a non-fiction book. A fiction book is, yes, a fiction book is a pretend story. A non-fiction book is a true story. At the Seashore. I'm going to try to go close so you can see the words. I'm going to point to the words as I read. Look once. Is it a forest of twigs or a nest of needles? Or is it a creature too spiny to hold? That's the first look. And it says, look again. It is a sea urchin. Sea urchins are covered with sharp spines. They move their spines back and forth to walk along the rocky shore. The sharp spines protect sea urchins from hungry predators. In some sea urchins, the spines have poisonous tips. If you were a predator, would you eat a spiny sea urchin? If you were a predator who needed to eat, would you come by and try to chomp a sea urchin? Why or why not? Look once. This beak opens to squawk, scream, screech, and squeal. It closes to pull, peck, pry, and pick up food. Whose beak is it? Look again. It belongs to a herring gull. Gulls eat fish, mice, rats, clams, grasshoppers, and eggs. They even eat cookies, sandwiches, garbages, and any other food they can find. Gulls are always looking for food. When you go to the beach, keep an eye on your lunch. We have that issue with pigeons, don't we, at our school, wanting your lunch. Look once. Do these look like feathers? They are the feet of a seashore creature that never moves. But if it never moves, why does it have feet? You know the answer to this one. Look again. Barnacles. This is the tops of the barnacles. Barnacles eat with their feet. Seawater is like soup for barnacles. A barnacle has 6 pairs of feet that sweep through the water, raking tiny bits of food into its body. Their hard white bodies cover rocks, docks, piers, buoys, and boat bottoms. We learned about them. They stick onto these things with their heads, right? And then they stick their feet out to sweep up the food. Look once. If your toe got caught here, you would be very crabby. It's the claw of a crab. Crabs have 10 legs. 2 are claws. With their claws, they snatch seaweed and worms, snails and clams. Their food can be alive or dead. Crabs are not fussy eaters. What does it mean to be a fussy eater? It means you're picky. You don't want certain things. Crabs are not fussy eaters. They'll eat almost anything. They're scavengers. Look once. You have only 2 feet. This animal has hundreds of feet. Your feet are on your legs. This animal's feet are on their arms. It is a sea star. It is a sea star. The bottom of each arm is covered with little suction cups. The suction cups are called tube feet. A sea star grips rocks with its tube feet so it can pull itself along. It also grips clams with its tube feet. It pulls apart the clam shells and enjoys a clammy feast. Let's look again at the tube feet. Look once. These are filled with air like balloons. They work like balloons too. They are part of weed that grows in the sea. They are the air bladders of a seaweed. The seaweed is called rockweed. At high tide, it is covered with water. Water blocks some of the sunlight that the rockweed needs, but its air bubbles lift the rockweed up to the surface. Now it gets lots of light. It's like a raft when it's filled with air and it sits on top of the water. If you think this is an animal's eye, you are not right. When pieces of wood drift onto the beach, they are called driftwood. Sun, sand, waves, and wind make them smooth and gray. The circle is a knot. It shows where a branch once grew. Look closely. Can you name these plants and animals? You may need to pause this if you really want to see all these pictures. And here are the answers. Thanks for joining me for this book at the seashore.